Hello book people, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Nana, and today I am starting a reading vlog where I'm trying to read books that my husband has read and to see if I like them too. I ask him to choose the books he thinks that I will like, obviously. So yeah, that is what this reading vlog is about. And he mentioned The Martian by Weir. I am 4 hours into this audiobook now. And this one is about Mark Watney, who is on this mission to Mars. But something goes wrong and then he gets left there and the other one are taking off. They think that he's dead, but he's not. And then it's about him trying to survive up there. I honestly loved the plot when I heard about it, but there's so much thermodynamics in this book, and I do study to become a construction engineer, and we had a very tough thermodynamics course some years ago, and we were told that 50% of us were going to fail this class. Was I one of them? Yes, I was. And oh my god, I hated it. But I did get through it the second time around. But this book, there's just so much of it. And like I said, I'm only 4 hours into it. But there has been so many explanations of chemistry and physics and yeah, it is just like having a lecture, you know? And I just felt so dumb again. So I don't know what to feel about this book yet. I don't know. Yeah, I'll update you again later. It's quite funny because Mark, who is stuck at Mars, has this very, I don't know, a positive attitude about it. He's not really that scared. And it's written with a more funny tone. I thought this book would be more scary, maybe, you know. It doesn't feel like that vibe of you are completely alone and is there something out there, is there not? You know, I just thought it would have that vibe, but not at all. It's more written with a funny tone to it. So yeah, that's the first book. And then after that, I am hoping to start the Infernal Devices. That is a YA young adult fantasy series, and it is a prequel to the Mortal Instruments, and it's by Cassandra, Clare. And I guess you're wondering, why did my husband read these books? I don't know as well. I did not recommend him to read these books. I did find The Martian for him because he was asking if I have heard about books that would be good for, you know, men. And he was like, yeah, thank you very much for The Martian. And then he just went on searching on his own, I think. Did he also read The Mortal Instruments? Yes, he did as well. Like, and I told him, isn't this like romantasy, a mix of romance and fantasy? And he was like, yeah, there is a whole lot of it. And he did stop in the middle of the Mortal Instruments series. There's quite a few books in that series, right? But he did say that the prequel, the Infernal Devices series, was a whole lot better. And even though he is a full grown man, it was still enjoyable. And he said that I think this book could definitely be for you. I feel like I have been let down a little bit by romantasy lately, especially YA young adult series. So I'm a little bit nervous about it. I don't know, have I just outgrown them? Adult romantasy, better. But yeah, the YA ones, I don't know. The last book was Life of Pi, so I have to see if I have time for that. The author is called, one second, Jan Martel is his name. And this book is about Pi, who is a little boy. From what I learned by reading about it, he is stuck at this shipwreck. He's there with a tiger, and there are some fantasy elements to it. It sounded really weird. My husband did enjoy this book. He said it wasn't the best book, but it was definitely worth a read. So yeah, I'll see if I can get around to it. All of these books are audiobooks, by the way. But I did borrow some books from the library, and I'll have to see if I have time to read some of them as well. But right now I am in the middle of Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. This is in Danish, by the way. And this one is about two sisters, the Owen sisters. And they grow up with their aunts in a very small town because their parents died. And everyone is scared of this Owen family because they think that they are witches. And yeah, so everyone is just avoiding them and they feel really isolated. And women are seeking out their aunts for help sometimes. Can you make me fall out of love with this man, or can you make this man fall in love with me, or stuff like that. So the way that the magic is described in this book is vague, but it is there, and I do like it. The Owen sisters are escaping this town, and I am in the middle of it now, and they are reconnecting again. They have been living completely separate lives. It has a very nice vibe to it. There is also some heavy stuff going on in here, but it's also a sweet book. I'm not sure exactly where to put it yet, but the typing is just really, really small, and I'm having a hard time reading it at night, and I'm just such a slow reader these days. Audiobooks, fast, but this, very slow. But I'm hoping that I can pick it up a little bit. And I also have like the Chestnut Spring series, that's what it's called. I think Flawless is the first one, so I am really hoping to get to this series as well. I have just heard great things about it, really, really great things. Cowboy romance. Yeah. Powerless, it is another romantasy series. Is this YA again? I'm not sure. But it's by Lauren Roberts. There's Powerless and Reckless. But my audiobook app just released Powerless and Reckless too, so yeah, I'll have to see. Then there's Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young, and this one is about a woman who loses her best friend in a house fire. And that friend who died, her boyfriend is getting accused of the town that he was the one who started that fire. Not by the police, but by the town. And one day he's coming back because his grandmother died or something, and I think they're trying to solve that murder mystery, and maybe they are going to have a love affair as well. I'm not sure. I just really love the cover. So the typing is a lot better as well, so maybe this could be a good pick. And then I have Mexican Gothic, and this one is about a girl who's going to her cousin's family-in-law place in Mexico because the cousin is asking the main character to help her. Maybe somebody is out for the cousin. Maybe the in-laws, I'm not sure. But this one is it magical realism? Or I'm not sure, but it's by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I have not read a book by her yet, but I have heard great things about Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I just really want to try it. So yeah, I have some options here. And the audiobooks is my husband's suggestions. So that is what I'm gonna try to attempt this reading vlog. And yeah, wish me good luck. I don't know what else I'm gonna vlog in this vlog, but as always, I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, time for an update. I finished The Martian by Andy Weir. I don't know how to feel about this book. Like I said in the intro, there are so many very long descriptions of a lot of things. And yes, it was interesting to see if he could find some solutions to stay alive, but it was just too much for me. And I think I needed a little bit more of a, what do you call that? A lyrical vibe to it as well. It had a funny vibe, but just that description of feeling utterly alone in space. That wasn't there at all in this book. It really wasn't. But yeah, a funny vibe to it. I don't know if it's just me, but there are also some descriptions where you can just tell this is so written by a man. You know, every woman is physically described and none of the male characters are described. I don't know how I feel about that. Sometimes it just annoys me a little bit, but I haven't heard anyone else complaining about that. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I could tell that my husband was, when I told him that I didn't love it as much. He was sensitive about it. But I moved on to the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, and I am in the middle of book 1. Yeah, it is definitely YA, but there's a lot of things going on in this book. I like the pacing. The story is quite interesting, and I do want to know what's going to happen to the characters. It is about Tessa and Will and Jim. Tessa is something, they don't know what yet, and Will and Jim are shadow hunters, and Tessa was at first kidnapped by the Dark Sisters because they knew that she had a magical power to her. Somehow they knew that, and then Will and Jim are rescuing her along with other shadow hunters, and shadow hunters are hunting magical beings if they are killing people. So that's kind of like their job. And then she goes to live at their place at this institute. So I have to see where this book is taking me. But it has a very nice pacing. That's all I can say for now. And I think I have like 40 pages left of practical magic. And I am also really enjoying this book. And the sister bond. I don't have a sister myself, but I wish I had. One of the sisters has 2 daughters herself. Their sister bond as well is also really great. If you like to read a book about a sister bond, this book could definitely be good for that too. And also great for fall, by the way. I know the fall is soon over, but maybe next year. Yeah, so I don't know what to start next, but I think it's either going to be Spells for Forgetting or Flawless. So yeah, I have to decide. I'm not sure yet. So that is that for now, and I will listen to some more of the first book in the Infernal Devices. But yeah, so far so good. So yeah, that's my update for now. So I am trying something new, a voice over, while you can see me cleaning. Yeah, my daughter is sick again, so I thought this would be a nice way instead of me putting on some makeup and filming, because I'm just way too tired. Don't look at our cables, by the way. It's so messy, that corner, like, whew. That's my husband's area, but yeah, so that's why it looks like that. I finished the Infernal Devices series, and I am a little bit disappointed. I think I'm gonna give it overall 3 stars. I don't know if that is a little bit too high. So yeah, my husband is not gonna pick any other book for me soon. Yeah, no. Romantasy has let me down lately, especially YA romantasy. So yeah, I need a break from that. Shake, shake, shake it. All right, sorry. What is this book about? This book is about Tessa, Jim, and Will, and they are having this little love triangle. But I never really understood Will and Tessa's love for each other. At one point, Tessa is saying why they are meant to be, and that's because they both love to read. I mean, that's the only reason. Anyways, yeah, you don't base a relationship on books, you know? I mean, my husband doesn't really read that much. I don't think he read anything when I met him. But yeah, we still love each other, but it was just so dumb. I didn't get it. It felt forced. it felt, I don't know, it felt like the author was the only one who was seeing this. I did not see it, and yeah, it was like they just saw each other, and then it was like instantly, I love that person. That's just not how it goes. I need a longer build up. I need something to base that love upon, not just eye contact one time, you know. Anyways, we have this pram inside, so yeah, it's kind of like part of our interior. It's really pretty, right? I had high expectations for the Infernal Devices series. I had seen some other booktubers really loving this series. I wish the book had another point of view where you follow Sophie and Gideon, because that I could feel. The book does have different point of views, but I could definitely read more about Sophie and Gideon. But yeah, the rest of them, that was too much. And there were so many love relationships in this story. So many times it was just way too obvious of what the author wanted to do. I think that was actually one of the main problems. It was just too obvious the whole way through. I also have a little problem with the ending of this book, where they're taking down the bad guy. That felt so lazy. I'm not gonna spoil, but the solution to that was just ridiculous. I wasn't a big fan of that. I had a feeling when I was reading this book that I did like the actual story beside all the romance. But then the ending happened and I changed my mind a little bit. Yeah, that was too lazy. I'm sorry. That almost felt like a story that I would have read in first grade. A little fairy tale with a very easy solution to the problem. The actual ending though, the epilogue though, that was actually fine with me. Maybe some people have a problem with that, I don't know. But again, it could also feel a little bit easy because Tessa, does get both guys in a way. And I know a lot of people do not like a character because, girl, choose one. You can't have both of them. So yeah, if you're wondering why I only made the bed for one, that's because our daughter has a sleeping disorder. So one of us is sleeping in the other room with her, and then one of us is sleeping in this room. So yeah, that's how it is. Moving on to the outside, it could need a little hand here and there. I don't know what I was thinking about this camera angle. I am gonna change it at some point in this video, but yeah, that was a horrible angle. But look at her go. I also finished Practical Magic, and I thought that I was gonna rate it higher, but since it took me that long to finish, I am only gonna give it a 3-star. And I think there's a problem for me about the storyline. There's so many stories, and you're still following the same people, but then something happened there, and then something happened there, and then something happened here, and you know, it's not a typical storytelling, and yeah, maybe it lost me a little bit. But yeah, a great book for Sister Bond. And now we have a perfect angle. Okay, no, because that pipe right there is really annoying. I am still learning. Yes. Whoopsie. I wish that the sun could have been out when I was filming, but this is Denmark and the sun is away for now. I think it's gonna come back in March, maybe. But yeah, I finished The Martian, 3-star. The Infernal Devices, 3-star. And Practical Magic, which was not a suggestion by my husband, that was just a book from the library, and that's also gonna be a 3-star. So, not the best reading vlog. The last one I made was so much better, so yeah, I am hoping that my next reading vlog It's gonna be a totally different experience. I am so excited for that. I am also really loving seeing this progress I'm making here. In the bin you go. But yeah, have I forgot to tell you anything? Oh yeah, I did not get to read Spells for Forgetting or the Chestnut Spring series. So that's gonna be another time because I had to deliver them back to the library, which was really sad. But anyways, it took me that long to finish Practical Magic, so yeah. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that I'll see you again in my next video. So just enjoy the progress here.